Hello and welcome back. In this episode, we will look into how to create a Groovy project and how to add necessary dependencies. And then finally, we'll write some Groovy code and then test it. To begin with, let's just go ahead and create a Groovy project. I'm going to open Intellij, create new project, and select Groovy, hit next. Let's just call it Sling Groovy scripts. Hit finish. And let's just go ahead and add Maven support to this project. Let's just go ahead and add Maven. Hit OK. That should generate what is called as the pom.xml file. A POM is a project object model. It's a configuration file that Maven uses to manage dependencies and plugins and all other stuff. So let's just go ahead and rename this group ID to com. It's basically the package syntax that you use in your Java projects. So let us call it Sling Groovy. Hit enter. And I'm going to hit enable auto import. That would detect any changes to our POM file and will auto import any dependencies or jar files. So hit auto import. Let me just go ahead and minimize these. I'm also going to get rid of this folder and create my own structure. So delete. We just create a new directory and let me call it com. And if I click new, I don't see an option to create a package. That is because Intellij doesn't know that this is a sources folder, or this folder should have capability to create a package under it. So to be able to create packages under it, let's just go ahead and mark this directory as sources root. And let me right click new, and now you see the option to create a package. So hit create package, and I'm going to name it com tdt sling groovy, or let's just do sling groovy, and then I'm going to create a package called as operations. I'm going to create one more package under the same root, and I'm going to call it reports. Okay. Before we go further and create a Groovy script, let's just add dependencies to our project. A dependency for the Apache JCR API and Apache Commons utility jar. So let's head to Safari and let's go to Maven repository. So let's search for Apache Sling API. Get that. I'm going to get the latest version. So I'm going to copy that. Head back to IntelliJ. Add the dependencies node and add that dependency. And let us grab the Commons bundle too. I'm going to get the latest version, copy that, head back to IntelliJ, paste it. Okay. Okay, now we are all set. Let's just go ahead and create our first Groovy script. I'm going to right click it and create a Groovy script. Let's call it seed repository with dummy data. Okay. So before we go further, let's just go ahead and refer the documentation. If you look here, it says that there are some global variables or variables that are exposed to us within the Groovy console. And those are, as you can see, the request, response, reader, out, OSGI, and bundle context. So to generate data and store it in the JCR repository, we need what we call as the resource resolver. Resource resolver gives us the correct permissions to be able to operate on our JCR repository. It would also let us create and manage our resources. So to get the resource resolver, we need what we call the resource resolver factory first, which is an OSGI service. And if you see here, there's a syntax here with which we can get the resource resolver factory service. And this is equal to, if you are familiar using @reference annotation in your OSGI services, this is equal to @reference. So let's just go ahead and copy that. Head back to Intellij, paste it. I'm going to call it resource resolver factory. And I'm going to replace that with resource resolver factory.class. One thing to note, Groovy actually let us just use this syntax to define our variables. But the problem with that is, now if I go to resource resolver factory and dot and try to get the auto suggest, it doesn't give anything because IntelliJ doesn't know what type of object this thing is. Okay, so for that sake, let's just go ahead and mention the type. And now if I hit auto suggest, it shows this. So for the sake of demonstration, let me just go ahead and get the administrative resource resolver. I know this is not the right way, but we'll in the next steps, we'll create a service user and use the proper administrative resolver. So let's just do that. Resource resolver. And let's do out.println resource resolver dot get resource. Let me just get content and let me get path. So Groovy lets you use single quotes and you don't have to put semicolons at the end. So let me copy that, head back to Felix console, paste that, and execute. Okay, I think I got logged out. So let me log in again. Paste that, execute. Okay. It says that the console plugin bundle is not whitelisted. This is because I'm using administrative resource resolver, and since that is deprecated and it technically gives access to our entire repository, we would have to take the risk of letting this bundle use the administrative resource resolver. So just for the sake of testing, I'm just gonna go to configuration, look for whitelist, and I'm just gonna bypass it. If you're on a production instance, be aware, don't just do that. Don't do it ever. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save, and now I'm gonna hit execute. Voila, it works. Okay, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video where we will continue to write our Groovy script to generate data in our JCR repository. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.